Now, limiting beliefs, I think also if you give a sales presentation, and I know you have experience with that, the the audience also, and it could be potential clients, also have their own limiting beliefs in relation to maybe in relation to you, in relation to the service you offer, in relation to what you are presenting,
Mm.
and maybe their ability to be able to work with you or to achieve certain objectives.
Mm.
how how do you address those limiting beliefs on the part of the audience?
Um, there's actually a really great book, which you've probably read, called Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson.
Yes.
Um, and he talks about these three types of beliefs. So we have three different types of beliefs. Let's see if I can get this right. There's the external belief about the vehicle, in terms of like the thing that is going to get you there. So let's say in your example, it's public speaking. They have the external belief around resources. So time, money, effort, energy to get that. And then they have the internal belief about themselves and their own ability. What's interesting about that is you have to almost take into consideration those three different categories, because if you just address one, then they say, yeah, I get that. I'm on board with that now, but I don't think I'm that type of person, right? I'm not the type of person that's good at public speaking, or I'm not the type of person that does X, Y, and Z, right? So the first thing is to realize that there are those kind of three categories. And then the question you said was, well, how do you actually address those things? And I think there are two really important things that have to happen if you're going to change or challenge someone's belief, right? So if you just said, let's imagine that we want to sell bicycles, because it's just like a really simple thing, right? And I said, like bikes are great. They get you around really quickly in London, because like there's loads of traffic and you're actually going to get there faster than if you took the taxi. They're great for the planet. They're great for your health. They're great for financially, yada, yada, yada. But if fundamentally somebody doesn't believe in the concept of bikes, like they don't think that they're a good thing, then you can talk all day about the benefits of that thing. But if they have a fundamental belief that in some way bikes are dangerous, or, they're too expensive, or whatever it is, then they've just tuned out to that noise, right? So you're first presenting the benefits and stuff before you've really got in their world. So the first thing you need to figure out is, what are those beliefs? Right? What is going on? But not just the belief, but the symptom that they're experiencing that has made them have that belief, right? So let's say they used to ride their bike in London, but they got knocked off by a taxi or something, right? So it's like, you start with who's ever got knocked off their bike or almost knocked off their bike in London, right? And so then you see those people, oh, okay, yeah, and it's crazy, isn't it? And there's cars and nobody looks and yada, yada, yada. But what if I told you that there's one reason that 90% of people get knocked off their bike? And people are like, okay, that's interesting, right? So you first have to meet them where they are, because if you don't meet them where they are, whatever you say, it's going to be their kind of reptile monkey brain. Just, no, that's my belief. That's my belief. That's my belief. It's only until when you get them where you are and you go, yeah, like that. I get that. I've experienced that. London's terrible. It's polluted. People knock your buses. They don't look where they're going, and taxis and unlicensed drivers and yada, yada. I get that totally. People are like nodding their head, because that's the experience they've had, right? And then you just say, well, let me tell you, there's one thing, there's one reason why that mainly happens, right? And it's because of, I don't actually have the solution, but let's just theoretically, it's because you don't have this vest thing that like is super luminous, and like there's no way that anyone could ever miss you or whatever. And so you've got to go there first in terms of the symptoms they're experiencing before you present that solution. So you have to acknowledge the belief and almost like get on their side before you can challenge it.